Meghan and Harry, they're stirring up a lot of trouble in my country with all these lawsuits. If they don't quiet down soon, things could move faster on that deportation idea, believe me.
The White House corridors are buzzing with electricity. Part political theatre, part genuine policy storm, the tension is impossible to ignore. In a press conference that had reporters scrambling like never before, President Donald Trump dropped what could be the most explosive comment yet on the Montecito exiles. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, yes, Meghan and Harry, he said, "They're stirring up a lot of trouble in my country with all these lawsuits." His signature bravado was on full display, daring the media and critics alike to react. If they don't quiet down soon, things could move fast on that deportation idea, insiders whisper. And this isn't just casual bluster from the man who thrives on shaking things up. This could mark the opening salvo in what might become the swiftest celebrity expulsion in American history. The Sussexes, who built their post-royal empire on media deals, podcasts, and endless legal skirmishes, now face the barrel of Trump's immigration enforcers. Here's where it gets truly riveting. Sources close to the administration say this is no empty rhetoric. Trump's team is reportedly dusting off rarely used immigration statutes, viewing the couple's litigious behavior as a serious threat to national calm. The timing couldn't be more poetic. Just months into Trump's second term, with border security at the top of his agenda, Meghan and Harry's high-profile antics have painted a literal target on their backs. White House aides confide that the president sees their non-stop court battles, not just with tabloids, but with family members and even vague perceived injustices, as emblematic of the chaos he vowed to eradicate. They're not just singing for fun. One senior advisor allegedly quipped, "They're turning America into their personal courtroom drama, and the boss isn't having it." The shockwaves from Trump's words rippled through Hollywood and diplomatic circles alike. Immigration lawyers barely contain their astonishment at how quickly this could escalate. What makes this threat so potent is Trump's track record. He doesn't bluff on deportations. Remember the lightning-fast actions against high-profile figures in his first term? This could absolutely dwarf them all. Meghan, the American-born Duchess, once a symbol of transatlantic glamour, now risks being branded an unwelcome agitator in her own homeland. Harry, the British prince who traded crowns for California sunshine, may see his visa status scrutinized like never before. Administration sources hint that preliminary reviews of their residency papers are already underway, with Trump's comments serving as a green light for acceleration. The irony is delicious. The couple who fled the UK citing privacy invasions now face the ultimate intrusion, forced removal from their adopted paradise. But this isn't just about lawsuits. It's a clash of egos, laws, and loyalties that has been simmering since they touched down in the States. Diving deeper, the trouble Trump referenced shows that the Sussexes' legal entanglements have morphed from defensive maneuvers into a full-blown offensive strategy that's rubbing the wrong people the wrong way. From multi-million-dollar suits against British media outlets over alleged privacy breaches, to Harry's ongoing battles over security details, and even whispers of defamation claims against critics, their docket reads like a Hollywood script gone rogue. Legal insiders suggest Meghan views these lawsuits as empowerment tools, a way to reclaim narrative control after years of royal scrutiny. But to Trump's administration, they are a nuisance at best. A subversion at worst. All these lawsuits, as Trump put it, aren't just personal. They're clogging courts, stirring media frenzy, and, according to some conservative pundits, undermining American values of self-reliance by turning every grievance into litigation gold. Sources familiar with Homeland Security briefings reveal that the couple's actions have drawn scrutiny for potentially violating the spirit of their visa terms. Harry entered the US on an O-1 visa for extraordinary ability, officially for his Invictus Games work and media ventures, yet critics argue his real ability seems to be generating controversy. Meghan, as a US citizen, is safe from direct deportation, but experts warn her status could complicate matters if Harry's expulsion triggers family splits or dual loyalty probes. The press conference bombshell came amid escalating tensions. Just weeks earlier, Harry lost another round in his UK security lawsuit, prompting fresh American filings that allegedly caught Trump's attention. White House watchers say the showman timed his remarks perfectly to coincide with immigration reform pushes, using the Sussex as a high-visibility example. "They're not quieting down," Trump implied, and sources confirm internal memos label their legal barrage as a disruptive influence. Legal analysts are buzzing that this could invoke obscure clauses in immigration law, where persistent litigation deemed harmful to public order might accelerate removal proceedings. Their Netflix deals and book tours, once seen as savvy branding, now appear as ammunition for critics, claiming they're exploiting US freedoms while biting the hand that feeds. Palace whispers across the pond add fuel to the fire. British royals reportedly view this as sweet vindication, with insiders chuckling as the Sussexes' American dream teeters under its own self-inflicted weight. The real fascination lies in how Trump's offhand threat exposes the fragility of their setup. One more lawsuit, and the deportation machinery could rev up irreversibly. Whispers from deep within the administration paint a picture of deportation plans accelerating at breakneck speed, far beyond mere speculation. A source close to Immigration and Customs Enforcement confided that Trump's comment wasn't improvised. It followed classified briefings where the Sussex file was flagged as a priority review. Apparently, Harry's visa renewal is under scrutiny, with agents combing every public statement, lawsuit, and media appearance for signs of moral turpitude or actions contrary to US interests. One insider described the process as Trump's fast-track express, invoking executive powers honed during his first term's border crackdowns. Meghan's role complicates matters. She's reportedly been advising on legal strategies, blurring the line between supporter and instigator. Leaks suggest that if evidence mounts of her orchestrating trouble, rarely used denaturalization statutes could be triggered, though experts call that a long shot. More likely, Harry's O1 status could be revoked for failing to maintain extraordinary contributions amid controversy. The president's inner circle reportedly views this as low-hanging fruit. Expulsion could happen voluntarily, solving the problem without messy citizenship battles. Diplomatic cables obtained by sources indicate quiet consultations with UK officials to avoid international fallout. After all, the royals aren't rushing to Harry's defence. Trump's team is allegedly preparing contingency plans, including asset freezes on their Montecito mansion. If deportation looms, the speed could be staggering. Precedents from celebrity cases, including foreign entertainers, show proceedings can wrap in months under presidential push. Insiders hinted that a quiet ultimatum has already been dispatched through back channels, warning that continued lawsuits could trigger immediate action. The audacity is classic Trump. Using a press gaggle to signal intent, forcing the Sussex into defensive mode, legal eagles in DC are buzzing, predicting a hearing before summer if they don't comply. But what elevates this to pure spectacle is the personal angle. Trump, who once hosted Meghan on The Apprentice, now sees her as a symbol of elite overreach. Sources say he's relishing the irony, viewing expulsion as a believe me moment to rally his base. The machinery is oiled, the plans drafted, all that's left is the trigger. At the heart of this impending expulsion lies a web of legal foundations, so ironclad that even the Sussexes' high-powered attorneys might balk. Immigration law experts explain that Harry's status hinges on proving ongoing extraordinary ability without becoming a public charge or engaging in activities that disrupt societal harmony. Trump's reference to stirring up trouble aligns perfectly with clauses allowing revocation for conduct deemed adverse to US interests. Think INA Section 212A3A, which bars those posing security risks, broadly interpreted under executive discretion. Sources inside the Department of Homeland Security whisper that their lawsuits, particularly those with international ramifications, could be framed as diplomatic interference, especially given Harry's foreign royal ties. Meghan's citizenship offers no blanket shield. If Harry is deported, family unity visas won't automatically apply if grounds for removal are aggravated. Legal scholars point to precedents where persistent litigation led to visa denials, citing activists whose court battles were seen as inciting division. Trump's America First administration could even classify their media empire as foreign propaganda under the Foreign Agents Registration Act if untied threads emerge. The president's comment accelerates this. Executive orders from his first term streamline deportations for visa holders with controversial profiles. Insiders reveal preliminary audits of their finances, checking for visa violations such as unreported income from royal-adjacent deals. The brilliance or brutality of the legal strategy is its simplicity. No need for criminal charges, just administrative revocation. Constitutional lawyers describe Trump's power here as near absolute, with courts deferring almost automatically to executive immigration decisions post-Chevron overturn. For Meghan, the trap is subtler. Her dual role could trigger denaturalization probes under rarely used statutes, the kind that have snared Americans with foreign titles before. If questions of loyalty arise, experts warn, historical precedents show that Americans with royal or noble ties face intense scrutiny. The foundation is built squarely on Trump's words, transforming what seemed like casual lawsuits into explosive fuel for expulsion. As one barrister put it, they're playing checkers. Trump's playing deportation, chess. Immigration and constitutional scholars are unanimous. The Sussexes' position is perilously weak amid Trump's pointed warning. He is not bluffing. Professor Eleanor Vasquez, a leading authority on U.S. visa law at Harvard, weighs in with decades of experience analyzing executive immigration powers. That press conference was a deliberate warning shot. Keep litigating, keep stirring discord, and Harry's O1 visa crumbles like a house of cards under administrative scrutiny. Scholars across the board emphasize how Trump's casual reference to trouble translates into potent legal ammunition. Persistent lawsuits, generating public discord and media frenzy, can be framed as detrimental conduct or activities contrary to U.S. interests, accelerating removal under expedited procedures reserved for high-profile cases. Dr. Marcus Hale, former ICE counsel with insider knowledge of enforcement priorities, scoffs at optimistic defenses from the Montecito camp. Extraordinary ability visas aren't lifelong shields for endless court drama and controversy generation. They exist strictly for genuine contributions, not perpetual controversies that disrupt national harmony. International law experts pile on, highlighting how Harry's lingering princely status and foreign ties complicate matters immensely, potentially invoking rarely tested but ruthlessly potent, divided allegiance clauses that Trump's administration could wield efficiently. Meghan's American roots offer no ironclad salvation. Here, the stakes are grave, especially if she's perceived as actively enabling or orchestrating foreign influence through their joint legal offensives. Emerging consensus among top minds warns that deportation proceedings could unfold with alarming swiftness, potentially within 90 days if flagged as presidential priority. Judicial appeals are largely futile against broad executive directives in immigration matters. Political scientists frame this as Trump's calculated masterstroke, cleverly using celebrity targets to underscore his unwavering immigration toughness and rally public support. The lawsuits are the perfect hook, analysts say. Dr. Sophia Grant, a keen observer of White House strategy, adds, "The deeper issue is their entire brand of high-profile disruption colliding head-on with a disciplined megavision of order and accountability." Experts widely predict the couple might opt for voluntary departure to sidestep public humiliation. But if they dig in defiantly, courts are unlikely to meaningfully intervene against determined executive action. The prevailing tone among scholars is grim inevitability. Trump's deportation machinery is notoriously relentless and well-oiled from his first term. The Sussexes' legal naivety, underestimating how personal grievances can morph into national security pretexts, seals their precarious fate. As Vasquez sums it up with chilling finality, "Quiet down immediately or start packing." Believe him, because he means it this time. Historical precedent sharpens the blade of this deportation threat, revealing patterns that doom the Sussex to a similar fate. Recall John Lennon's protracted battle in the 1970s. Anti-war activism and minor legal infractions triggered Nixon-era deportation proceedings. Trump's playbook echoes this executive overreach, now amplified by modern powers and streamlined enforcement. More recently, high-profile visa revocations for foreign figures entangled in scandals illustrate how moral turpitude clauses are broadly interpreted to cover conduct that shocks the public conscience, even for the celebrated and litigious. Experts point to cases like British musician Yusuf Islam, formerly Cat Stevens, deported in 2004 over alleged security ties, mirroring Harry's foreign connections and controversial profile. Trump's first term provides chilling parallels, swift removals of visa holders deemed disruptive, with courts upholding executive discretion in over 90% of challenges. National interests trump individual pleas. Think bigger than isolated incidents. Immigration historians highlight Red Scare-era expulsions of activists for subversive speech or divided allegiance probes, stripping status from those with far lesser perceived threats. Meghan's American citizenship evokes echoes of McCarthy-era denaturalizations, where perceived foreign sympathies invited ruin. Precedents are stacked against them. Like a house of cards, says historian Dr. Liam Thorpe. Lawsuits framed as trouble or public discord are straight from the Presidential Anti-Agitator Handbook, weaponizing immigration against high-profile irritants. Comparisons to deported entertainers and activists underscore the peril. Persistent legal actions or media storms, reframed as societal subversion, pave a swift path to forced exits. Trump's press conference quip invokes these historical ghosts, casting the Sussexes as contemporary exemplars in a long tradition of celebrity expulsions. The lesson etched in decades of case law is unforgiving. When presidents personally target perceived threats, expulsion follows relentlessly. No royal lineage, fame, or litigation arsenal exempts you from the machinery's grind. The implications for the Sussexes' life and brand would be nothing short of apocalyptic if expulsion materializes, a cataclysmic unraveling of everything they've meticulously constructed since fleeing Britain. Their sprawling Montecito fortress, a gleaming symbol of hard-won independence and California dreaming, could face forced sale or asset freezes. Rigorous government reviews threaten to shatter the carefully curated illusion of unassailable stability, turning their idyllic haven into a fleeting memory. Brand experts predict an immediate vertiginous nosedive. Netflix contracts could quietly evaporate, Spotify might permanently ghost them, and major studios could recoil from any association with deportation drama, fearing toxic fallout. Who in their right mind wants to partner with exes? Quips Hollywood insider Carla Voss, her words echoing through executive suites already distancing themselves. Public perception would undergo a brutal, irreversible shift. From glamorous rebels fighting the establishment to pathetic rejects embodying elite overreach. Trump's fervent base would cheer the move as long overdue accountability for privileged agitators. Family fractures loom large and heartbreaking. Archie and Lilibet's dual citizenship creates nightmarish logistical complications for relocation, forcing wrenching choices between Canada, a neutral but chilly fallback, the UK, where icy royal frost and public disdain await, or some obscure third country desperate for privacy. Financially, ongoing lawsuits already drain their coffers like open wounds. Expulsion piles on exorbitant relocation costs, legal battles, and lost income streams, rapidly eroding their once vaunted $100 million empire into something far more precarious. Social isolation intensifies to suffocating levels. A-list friends quietly distance themselves to avoid guilt by association, former allies vanish overnight, and the media feasts relentlessly on every humiliating detail. Voss warns gravely, the carefully nurtured narrative of victimhood crumbles overnight. Expulsion doesn't whisper failure, it screams it from every headline. Global ramifications ripple outward in waves of diplomatic snubs, with former allies and international partners viewing them as radioactive pariahs, unworthy of red carpet welcomes or serious platforms. Yet amid this personal tragedy lies pure political opportunity for Trump, a glittering win-win spectacle that supercharges his image as the unflinching enforcer of American sovereignty. For Meghan and Harry, it's nothing less than brand Armageddon, a devastating fall from transatlantic power couple to eternal cautionary tale of hubris, meeting immovable authority in this transatlantic expulsion saga. Less royal reckoning, more American immigration nightmare. The Sussexes' carefully constructed California idyll now teeters on the precipice of Trump's unyielding enforcement grip. What began as a barrage of lawsuits framed as quests for justice and privacy has spiraled into deportation doom, a stark testament to celebrity overreach colliding head-on with an immovable presidential force obsessed with border sovereignty. Insiders within the Department of Homeland Security confirm the deportation machinery is already humming ominously. Preliminary reviews of Harry's visa dossier have accelerated, with agents cross-referencing every public utterance, legal filing, and media spectacle for violations that could trigger swift revocation. If the couple fails to heed the implicit quiet down embedded in Trump's pointed press conference, sources suggest Harry's packing crates could be filling by early spring, forcing a humiliating retreat from their Montecito haven. Their once admirable defiance against perceived injustices, tabloid intrusions, royal slights, and endless grievances has morphed into self-sabotage, inviting ruin on a scale that unites critics across the political spectrum in gleeful consensus. Their glamorous US chapter, built on Netflix empires and podcast proclamations, is slamming shut with finality. Trump's off-the-cuff press quip wasn't mere jest or showmanship, it was deliberate judgment, a calculated signal to his base and the world that no high-profile agitator, royal or otherwise, escapes the long arm of America First immigration retribution. Immigration scholars and constitutional experts chorus in near-unanimous agreement: resistance is utterly futile. Once ignited by presidential priority, the expulsion process barrels forward with relentless inevitability, appeals drowned out by executive discretion. The glittering Montecito dream, once a sun-soaked symbol of reinvention and independence, dissolves into bitter aftermath, leaving only the echoing resonance of Trump's signature. Believe me, as the couple's unwitting epitaph in this land they once claimed as sanctuary, what remains is a cautionary tale of how litigious ambition, unchecked, can transform privileged exiles into unwelcome outsiders overnight. Their American experiment ends not with triumph, but in forced farewell. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Sussex saga, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment to join the conversation.